Hey everybody, Dr. Leo Krawetz again with another ingrown nail. And this one's got an infection on the side of the nail. This patient's had this for several weeks, and he's had ingrown nails on and off on most of his toes according to the patient, but the big toenails are the worst. This one's been infected, and he and his mom actually tried to cut it out themselves without success, right, Dr. Mom?
Yes, I usually have success, but this was tough one.
This is a tough one, but like I was telling them, once you get an ingrown nail, it's always going to grow in, and it's always going to be a problem. It doesn't matter how good you think you are at taking these out. If you don't remove the side of the nail permanently, it grows back. So what I'm doing right now is putting a tourniquet on, and we're going to open this area up so we can take a look and see what's underneath and do the procedure. And we can see okay on the video. Yep, light's good enough there. So we've got the tourniquet on, I've numbed him up, I put some lidocaine with a little bit of epinephrine in there so it doesn't bleed. This patient is actually younger, he's got excellent blood flow, never have to worry about the epinephrine in the toe, but it helps with the bleeding. And he's a little bit bigger of a person, so the bigger you are, the more pressure there is on the veins, so you tend to bleed more actually. The further away from your heart that you are. So in the toes, if you do bleed, you end up bleeding a lot more than normal. So epinephrine is going to help to keep this a little drier than normal, but he still may bleed. Are you feeling anything up there? Just pressure, right?
Just pressure.
Okay, good. So what I'm doing is freeing the sides of the nail. This side you can see is actually ingrown pretty badly too. Oh, you feel that up there?
Yeah, I feel that.
Okay. So he can feel a little bit still. So what I'm going to do is just add a little bit more local. He's already numb, so I'm going to go in where he's numb, but I'm going to put more in so it diffuses to the area that I need to. And you can see right here, I'm going to put it right here. So mainly, the nerves that don't get numb are usually on the bottom of the toe, and those are the nerves that bring, can you feel that up there? Do you feel the burning?
No.
Okay. On the bottom of the toe, believe it or not, the nerves shoot up peripheral nerves to the toenail itself, and that's where the nerve endings are in the toenail, on the bottom of the toe a lot of the time. So I'm going to drop most of this medicine right here on the bottom of the toe in that quadrant. So it's the plantar medial quadrant that I'm dropping the medicine, so it should get real numb on that side. We'll test it in just a second, but it gets numb very fast, especially because there's lidocaine with epinephrine. And that numbs up pretty quickly. So we're going to work on the other side first to give that even more time to numb up. So let's see, let me make sure this is free again. So we'll go back to this, and that is free. We're going to take the side of the nail out. Any pain on this side of the toe? Okay,
Yeah.
nothing, good. Yeah, you won't. The other side should be fine. So we're going to clip that. And then we're going to take the side out. Normally I'd free both sides at the same time, but we want to just give it a little more time to get numb. So you can see I'm under the skin right now. And I've got it clicked, and I can feel it, and I do it slowly because I don't want anything breaking off there. Also, it's good because you can actually see what's connected to the nail, and you can see that's a nice sized chunk. I have a feeling the other side's actually going to be worse. But if you look, you see that? Mom, on the video there?
Wow.
See how big that chunk is? Yeah, it's great when you look at it up close because you can see the extent of it. So we're going to take this piece of skin off of there, clean out the side right here, make sure this is all cleaned off. And this is just dead skin here. And this is all ready to come off anyway. Over the next 4 weeks, this will slough off anyway, some of this dead skin here. I'm going to go in here and by feel, I'm feeling around and make sure everything's gone, and it is. That's clean on that side. So now we're going to test the other side again. I'm going to see if he's numb. We're going to test you out. Let me know if this, can you feel anything?
No.
Good. You're numb now.
Legendary.
Yes. So now we're going to go in. We're going to actually click this like we did on the other side, and I'm all the way back. And you can see how it kind of fell as I clicked. And that means it's down at the eponychium. The eponychium is where the toenail grows from. And now I can clamp onto this, and we're going to see if I'm right, if this side's actually bigger than the other side. And I've got it clamped, and we're going to pull it, and you can see a chunk coming out. significant. I'd say it's probably equal. What do you think? Equal in size? Yeah, it's about equal in size to the other. Maybe a little bigger. Okay. But we can see right here on the side. Let's take a look on the table. This was the side I just pulled out. It is bigger. It's more significant, but I may have pulled out a little bit more on the other edge of it. But still, it is significantly bigger, and it's growing in a little more. So now we can clean the rest of this. You can see this piece right here of skin. We're going to get this out. And we'll get a new 4x4. Make sure this is nice and clean. I'm going to have, because of the infection, I'm going to have him soak this in white vinegar and water. So he's going to take a couple tablespoonfuls of white vinegar to about a pint of water to soak it. That's going to help anything drain out of it. It also changes the pH a little bit, and certain bacteria like Pseudomonas aeruginosa. I think that's how you say it. At least that's how I say it. And that's how I've convinced myself that it's pronounced. But Pseudomonas actually can't grow in that type of pH, so it's good for that. And then it is also good for drawing out any kind of fluid from the area. So I'm mainly more concerned about this side, on the lateral side, than the medial side. So
I'm convinced I could have been
we're
successful
going to put,
if I had your numbing stuff.
Yeah, now we're going to go ahead and we're going to kill the matrix. So let's start with over on this side here. Okay. So we're burning the matrix.
That's the where it origin.
Yep, this is where it was right here. And this we do usually 3 10-second sticks, or sometimes a little bit less. Some people are more sensitive to the chemical, but we like to just say 10-second sticks to be consistent with it. We do it 3 times. And that's just so we can burn the nail matrix so it's not going to grow back again. Are you able to see that pretty well on there?
Yep.
Okay, good.
Does
Like I said, it's
everyone
not
get
exact.
this?
A lot of people get this. It's hereditary. And usually with kids, it'll show up usually when they start growing fast, or if they gain weight, because the extra weight on the foot actually will cause the skin on the side to cloak over. It comes over the top of the nail where it's already growing in, so it exaggerates the ingrown nail. So you can imagine if you're just standing there and you haven't gained any weight,
Right.
and I just handed you 5 pounds at a time. As I hand you 5 pounds at a time, there's more pressure on the bottom of this toe, and there's more and more pressure, and then the skin on the side starts to roll over the top of the nail. And that's just from extra weight on it. So that's really the mechanism that exaggerates it, and that's usually what brings on the ingrown nail and the pain from the ingrown nail. And the other thing is that when it grows in like that for a long period of time, the nail is actually dirty, and it will get infected because the bacteria can't escape, so they start to replicate basically under the skin, and then you get a bad infection, which is called an abscess, and then you get pus. So one more stick here. You doing okay back there?
Clean under in there. You okay?
Yeah, I'm right.
All right. And then I'm going to do one more thing here. So this side looks good right here. You can see the white. This one's great for viewing purposes. You can see how white it is there. It's kind of a whitish grayish color. That way we know the nail matrix is burned. The other side, it's a little more bloody, but I'm going to see if I can just clean, now that we've done the chemical, if I can get this, clean out the skin a little bit here on the side. And I'm going to take a little bit of the skin off just for the purpose of, for cosmetic reasons. When it heals, it'll heal in better rather than having the skin flapping around here. And I'm using a tissue nipper right here too. You can see, we'll clean this up here. And there's one more bit here on the side that I want to get out. The easiest way to do this, I'm actually creating some tension, some skin tension right here on the side. And then I'm doing this by feel too as I nip this. This is kind of the same thing they do at a pedicure place where they clean the cuticle area. And you can see I'm just cleaning the side of the toe. That looks a lot better right there.
Yes.
And then when it heals in, that actually is gonna fill back in with tissue, but it's gonna, it'll look like a normal toe afterwards too. This actually will help it heal quicker too, because you won't have dead skin getting in the way of the healing. When a wound heals, this will form a little granulation tissue, and then the wound, which is the side of this toenail area, will contract towards the toe like that, close in. This is what it's gonna look like. It'll look like this when it's all healed. So it'll look like a perfectly rectangular toenail when it's done. So that looks better. And now we're gonna rinse it with a little bit of vinegar. We're gonna flush it actually. That neutralizes the chemical. We're gonna put it this way. It kind of neutralizes it and cleans it out a little. I'm just gonna wipe that out of there. Looks good. And now we can wrap it up. And we'll make it nice and thick here so it doesn't bleed through. Let's see, let me grab this leading edge here and I'll unwrap it. And you can see, even when I unwrap it, sometimes we'll get hyperemia. Hyperemia is when the body says, hey, there's no more tourniquet on there. We need to rush blood there and get more oxygen into the tissue. And you can see it as it starts to bleed. That's the hyperemia effect. You see it bleeding? So I'm gonna cover it now before it gets too bad. And we will put this on top. Actually, you know what? Let me do this. Before I do that, we're gonna put this Blvd, we're gonna lump this on here. There's already betadine around there, but I wanna get a big lump of this Blvd so it doesn't stick. Because he is gonna bleed quite a bit here. And this is gonna be a little bloody here. Let's get this before it bleeds on the floor. And we're putting a bloody mess there. I said that with an English accent for all my English fans out there. It's a bloody mess. It's a bloody mess of blood. Anyway, he's gonna take this off tomorrow and start soaking it in white vinegar and water. So we'll cover this up before it starts to bleed. Now what I'm doing is using a little bit more pressure here as I do this. And again, because of his size, when he stands up, there's gonna be a little more bleeding than normal. Good. Because there's gonna be more bleeding than normal, we're gonna put even more gauze around this, so he's gonna have a real thick bandage.
Well,
And
mine
that's
is supposed to be able to fit into my shoe.
No,
not.
we're gonna give you a paper shoe to wear. It's very stylish. It's the new style that they're wearing around Tampa, so you'll look great with paper shoes on.
Oh, word? Can I have 6?
You can have 6. You can start a trend.
There you go.
How long will
Well,
it hurt?
you're going to be the beginning of the new trend. That's how you started. So that's it. So that's it. So we've got a brand new toe for him. The Ingrown nail is removed. He's going to be really happy. It will be a little bit bloody tomorrow when he takes it off, but when he soaks it, it's going to draw the fluid out of there. And he'll put some pressure on it with a little bit of gauze the first couple of days, but otherwise it should heal up great. And if you like what you see, we'd like you to subscribe to the channel, and we'll have more great videos for you soon. Thanks.